Hey everybody, welcome to the Superhero Summit's pre-event hangouts. It's Marisa Murgatroyd. I'm the founder of Live Your Message and co-founder of Superhero Summits with my amazing husband Murray, who's known as Neo, Master of the Code. So we have been scouring the solar system to really bring together our top 10 traffic superheroes. So we've actually intercepted their motorcycles, we've drugged them out of bat caves, we've gone head-to-head against nunchucks to really get them here. And once they heard our mission, once they heard that we're going to bring you the cutting-edge traffic strategies that are going to help you attract more of the right kind of people to your websites and to your marketing, they were all in. You know, they dropped their swords, they flew in. And so over the next 3 weeks, as we gear up for Traffic Superhero Summit, which is going to be going down March 24th through April 4th, we want to reveal these superheroes to you 3 at a time and have them share some of their amazing traffic strategies so you can get started right away. And these are superheroes who, some of them are well known, some of them are not because they've been busy behind the scenes building their business and the business of their clients to, multiple 6- and 7-figure empires. And they're really going to be sharing what's working today, not what used to work, not the tactics that you've been hearing over and over again that are 3 years old. If we've got someone talking about SEO, they're talking about SEO today, based on the latest changes of Google, not SEO yesterday or SEO in 2013. So we've really done diligence and found some amazing people for you. And let me give you a hint about how we're going to interact today before I introduce and reveal our first 3 superheroes. So as you know, we're streaming live via Google Hangout on air. There is no safety net. So the stream that you're seeing today depends on your internet, it depends on our internet, so if for whatever reason you lose the sound, the picture freezes, just refresh your screen. And 9 times out of 10, that's going to solve the problem. If for whatever reason it doesn't, and you're having a bad internet day, it's kind of like a bad hair day, you can just come back when this is over and there will be an instant live replay. But we definitely recommend that you stick around live because you can ask your questions of our superheroes. I see in the chat someone says, wow, I can't believe Natalie Lucier is here. I can't believe we've got Joe Barnes. I can't believe who you've got in the lineup. So yes, we've got some amazing superheroes who are going to be delivering really hot off the presses traffic strategies for you. We've got some social sharing to the left of this video. We've got our Facebook and our Twitter and our Google+. Definitely recommend that you give us a +1, not just to spread the word and bring other people here to listen to these amazing superheroes, but also to make sure that you're being notified about all of our latest events because we bring a lot of superheroes here like Clay Collins, we've brought Andy Jenkins, we've got James Webmore, we've brought lots and lots of people over the past year for you that are hard to find sometimes. So like I said, we do scour the bat caves and bring out the best of the best to give you this great training. So without further ado, I want to introduce our 3 superheroes. First up, we've got Joe Barnes, and Joe Barnes is hailing in from Thailand. So Joe, would you like to reveal yourself for the world? And believe it or not, Google Hangouts are actually outlawed in Thailand. For whatever reason, they think it's a danger to the population, so she's had to kind of hack the system and log in via proxy. So we're streaming Joe illegally from Thailand here. And Joe Barnes is an entrepreneur who's managed to run an online business from Bangkok, from around the world, from her suitcase, using social media and using the traffic generating strategies that she's going to teach you today and start to share today, and again at the live summit, to really bring her audience to her regardless of where she is in the world. And she's developed a phenomenal business and a phenomenal audience, and really, really excited to have her. So next up, we've got Natalie. So Natalie Lucier, and I hope I forgot to ask you how to pronounce your last name. She's got one of those superhero last names like Murgatroyd. We got Murgatroyd and Lucier and Levesque. So we've got some superhero last names here as well. Is an amazing ninja when it comes to search engine optimization. And as you know, Google likes to change the rules of the game like every single day almost, and Natalie is the kind of person who has the brain to kind of track all those changes and continue to manage to stay at the top of the search engines regardless of what's going on in Google land. So Natalie, do you want to come on and show your pretty face to the world? Hey Natalie! And next up, we've got Ryan Levesque. So Ryan Levesque really looks like that in real life. He's like a hulking, Superman of a dude who knows how to wield his nunchucks with amazing, grace and agility. So I've actually was just hanging out with Ryan in Las Vegas this weekend. We were masterminding with some of the most amazing internet marketers out there like Russell Brunson and Andre Chaperone and, Jack Bourne and Ben, I forgot his last name. Settle, Ben Settle, some really amazing people that we're hanging out with and masterminding. And Ryan is a funnel engineer, meaning that he knows how to attract people, not just attract people to your website, but what to do with them once they get there, and how to kind of funnel people into the right place and pre-qualify them. So you're making offers that they want, rather than just giving the same offer to everybody and having 95% of them say no because it's the wrong offer. Really qualifying them and making sure they are getting the right offer for them. So Ryan, you want to come online? All right. Hey, Ryan. So here you are. Here you got it. Here's the lineup for today. So these are our first 3 traffic superheroes, and we'll be revealing the last 7 superheroes over the next 2 weeks. And they've really accomplished some extraordinary things in their businesses. So I want to just dive in one superhero at a time and find out what makes them tick, what they've accomplished, and what their cutting-edge traffic strategy is for you. So Joe, tell us a little bit about you and how you became a traffic superhero.
Hello, everybody. Lovely to be here. Thank you for having me, Marisa. It's wonderful to be here, and that was a fantastic introduction for everybody involved tonight. I'm very honoured to be in such an incredible lineup. So, okay, so a little bit about me. I started my business in March 2010, and I actually started an online business because we wanted to travel and because we wanted to see the world. And so we kind of traveled around, and I went through all the kind of frustration of trying to build a new business online, which is sometimes extremely difficult. And all that overwhelm and all that kind of stuff. And then I fell over Facebook, really, and Facebook just completely changed my life, and the rest is history. I've just been growing my business over the last few years using social media strategies. And then more recently, over the last year, I kind of expanded a bit out of just social media and started to explore lots and lots of other lead generation strategies, finding ways just to drive lots and lots of traffic through to my products and services. And I have to say, I love it. I love the whole kind of testing new and different things and seeing how things work and seeing what converts and what doesn't convert and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind ride over the last couple of years, I have to say.
Awesome. And what are some results that you've seen in your business and the business of your audience? Like, what kind of traffic are we talking about? Are we talking about New York City or Bangkok?
Well,
are we talking about suburban Iowa?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, Bangkok's pretty heavy on the old traffic, I have to say. Yeah, no, I'm out there. Obviously, I do lots of lead generation to a lot of my free offers. So we're talking about mainly getting PDFs out there, video courses, things like that. And I've managed to generate, in my first sort of few months, just after discovering Facebook, before I launched my Social Networking Academy membership site, I built a list of about 18,000 subscribers in about 4 or 5 months. And then when I launched my Social Networking Academy, I actually did $117,000 in 7 days. That was my first kind of big launch. Since then, you know, I've done 10,000 new leads inside of 6 weeks, which was a bit of an experiment I did recently. I'm looking to blow that out of water and do that in, you know, a couple of weeks over the next few months. So yeah, just different strategies of generating lots and lots of leads through onto my customer database, people that I can then build relationships with and talk to and obviously offer my products and services to. And I now have a very successful multiple 6-figure business that allows me to live in beautiful Thailand and travel the world and help lots and lots of people with their businesses.
Awesome. Well, those are some fabulous results, and I'm sure some of the people on the line want to know how they can generate an 18,000 person list in 4 months and achieve some of the results that you've seen and drive the massive traffic that you've learned how to drive. So what I'd love to hear from you is what one kind of cutting edge traffic strategy is that you're using that's working now, and not something that, you know, is kind of old school or old hat or that used to work but everybody's doing and no longer works. Something that's really new, something that's different, something that's working today, and something that's going to blow the minds, blow the hats off of our audience.
Well, I know that people are currently using Facebook advertising was quite a hot topic through the end of 2013, and I have to say I've done a lot of experimenting myself with Facebook ads, and I do find it quite possibly one of the most effective traffic generating strategies I've ever come across. And pre-coming online, I was in marketing for 20 years in an offline business, and did an awful lot of advertising and paid advertising for that business. And in all my years of marketing, I haven't seen anything quite as effective. And the reason is because of the way that you can target your Facebook advertising, the fact that you can laser target your audience and be able to attract them through their interests and their page interests and their demographics and all of that kind of stuff. But literally over the last week, Facebook have brought out this new call to action button on your Facebook ads, and even on your organic posts. You can set it up on your organic posts as well. And bearing in mind that there's this really horrible restrictive rule of 20%, you're not allowed over 20% worth of text on your graphics, which is really annoying. And I'm sure Ryan, as a funnel engineer, will know how important a call to action is whenever you're going out there and you're asking your audience to take action. So what Facebook have done is they have now added this call to action button, which you can, as you place your post or your ad, you can actually click a drop down box and you can choose from, I think it's about 6 different buttons, and it says shop now and buy now and download and learn more and things like that, which allows you to then put a nice kind of creative image on your post or your ad, but have this fantastic call to action button actually there right on the post. Now it sounds, oh, okay, well, is that really groundbreaking? Well, actually, yes, it is. It's absolutely fantastic, because if you are doing any kind of Facebook advertising and you're getting your ads out there and they're hitting the news feed, and now you've got this fantastic graphic and your headline is super good about the actual product itself, and then down the bottom you've got this call to action button that says learn more or check it out or download now, then you're going to get a much higher conversion rate. And of course, the higher your conversion rate, then the more leads you're going to generate into your funnel and the less it's going to cost you. So I just think it's an absolutely fantastic addition to the Facebook advertising platform by Facebook, and I'm looking forward to testing it immensely over the next few weeks and then revealing all of my test results when we do the big live hangout in March.
I muted myself. That will always get you down. So basically what you're saying, I know, it's so dangerous. And by the way, if you have any questions for Joe about this technique or anything else, just go ahead and type it into the chat right now, and I will ask it of Joe. So basically what you got now is a button, like a really visual, big old button that people can click, and it's one click that's going to direct them wherever you want to direct them on the web. Is that right?
Yep, you put the URL in exactly where you want them to go, and so there's no, you don't need to put clumsy links or anything anymore in your post. You just put your headline, say exactly what you want them to do, put a really nice graphic. You've got an area as well to put a bit more of a description about what they're going to see, and then they click that button and go straight through to the page that you want them to go to.
Nice, and that's pretty slick. Do you think you can actually customize the button visually, or do you have to use one of their preset formats?
No, you have to use one of their preset formats right now, but who knows? With Facebook, there may be a customized option in the future, but right now it's preset formats.
Great, and you said you can use that in lots of different kinds of Facebook advertising, including your main, posts in the news feed, as well as the sponsored posts and the promoted posts and everything else?
No, you can use it. You have to go into the Power Editor to use it, but what you can do is either use it for an advertising post, so you can create a post just for an ad, or you can actually go in, because at the moment what you can't do is go onto your timeline and create a post and add this call to action button. That's not going to work. What you have to do is you have to go into your Power Editor, and at the top of your Power Editor there's a little button that says Manage Pages, and from there you go in, you find your page, you create a new post, you add the button from in there, and then you post that, and that will then post on your page as an organic post. So you don't have to do it for Facebook advertising. You can actually do it just for an organic post that you're going to put on your page.
Awesome, awesome. And I see a few questions coming in about this, clarifying. And one woman, Georgette, wants to know, where is that call to action button? So for someone who's never used the Facebook Power Editor, how would they get to it? Where do you find it?
If they go to their a couple of ways to get to it. One of the first ways is just go to facebook.com/ads/power editor. That's going to take you straight there. Or if you go to your home screen, what you should see on the left hand side is a button called Ads Manager. If you go into your main Ads Manager, and then on the left-hand side at the top of the screen underneath your account, you'll see Power Editor. And if you click on that button, that will take you through to the Power Editor.
Awesome. And is there any other reasons they should go to the Power Editor? Any other like hot things they can do with it?
Oh, God, yeah. Where do I start? The Power Editor is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, oh, my goodness. Custom audiences, another absolutely fantastic addition. But, I mean, the Power Editor was originally for, power users. So people with massive accounts spending over 25,000 bucks a month, etc. And then last year, Facebook kind of made it more available for us, the general public who aren't spending, $25,000 to $50,000 a month on Facebook ads. And what it does with the Power Editor, and I find this incredibly high converting, actually, what I'm about to share with you is a very, very high converting strategy. If you currently have any kind of email list, all right, then what you do is you're going to export your email list from your autoresponder account as a CSV file, and then what you can do in the Power Editor is go to the little button called Audiences, okay? You click on that and you create a new custom audience. You then upload your email list to the custom audiences, and now you can actually target your email list. So imagine if you've got an email list and only 20% of people are opening or 10% of people are opening your emails, you can now actually target them on Facebook so that they're seeing your ads either in their newsfeed or on the right-hand side of the screen. And that really, every time I target my email list on Facebook, I get really high conversions and very, very low cost per clicks. So that is an absolutely super fantastic little strategy there for being able to get out to your email list without, because we all know with email marketing, it's very difficult. We want to get out there. We want to tell people about new things happening. We want to tell them about new offers. We want to let them know and communicate with them, but we don't want to be sending them an email every day of the week because you're just going to get list fatigue and people are going to get annoyed and all that kind of stuff. So the fact that we can now actually communicate with them by advertising to them on Facebook as well is fantastic. So that's a custom audiences. That's another absolutely fabulous way of generating even more leads.
Awesome, awesome. And I hear that you can, with custom audiences, I mean, it's great if you want to get a lot of people to an event like this. You can actually target people who have already registered, and it slips their mind when the time comes. So it's another way to really get people to a live event and really interact with your audiences. So that's super hot. And E.G. Sebastian wants to know, can each call to action lead to a different page? And is there a difference, for example, than sending someone to a page on Facebook to sending someone to a page off Facebook in terms of how much it costs or anything like that?
Yeah, okay, so each call to, when you go and set up your post, each post will lead somebody to wherever you want them to go. So it's up to you how many posts you want to create. Obviously what you don't want to do is do, loads and loads of posts on your actual Facebook page all of the same. And so, with Facebook advertising, if you wanted to split test, for instance, then you could send out a similar message on 2 different ads and have 2 different call to action buttons. So one might have download, another one might have learn more, and then you can target audiences, and you're not posting those posts actually on your wall. But what you can do is with each post you create, you're going to put in a different URL and create that call to action button, and that will go wherever you want them to go. So I hope that answers that question. The second part of the question was, is there a difference in cost with sending to a Facebook page? And you know what? Yes, generally they're going to be slightly cheaper, your cost per clicks, by keeping people in Facebook. That's kind of always been the given. But in all honesty, I haven't seen that much of a difference over the last few months. I think that gap has closed. Certainly when I first started Facebook advertising a long time ago, there was quite a big gap with keeping people inside of Facebook. And not only that as well, when I first started on Facebook, a long time ago, I also found that I would actually get higher conversion rates by keeping people inside of Facebook. So I used to recommend all the time, definitely keep people inside of Facebook. It's cheaper to advertise and you're going to get higher conversions. But actually over the past few months, I haven't found that. I did a test on a PDF that I was doing on a standalone opt-in page versus my Facebook page, and my standalone opt-in page actually outperformed my Facebook page over and over again. Because that was converting higher, then actually my cost per click, started to come down a little bit for that. So it's a real kind of test and measure game with Facebook ads. You need to get out there and you need to create pages and create ads and just start testing and comparing and tweaking and seeing what's working for you.
Awesome, awesome. And a couple of really fast questions, and then I just want to wrap up and hear what you're going to be talking about in a few weeks at the Traffic Superhero Summit. So one, Blake says the Power Editor only works in Google Chrome. Is that the case?
Yes.
Okay, so it's got to work in Google Chrome, and thanks, Blake. And Blake threw in the link there for the Power Editor, so you've got it there in the chat. So thank you for helping out there. And Rachel says can we use the Power Editor for organic posts too? And Balin wants to know about sponsored and promoted posts. So basically, can it be organic posts, sponsored posts, promoted posts?
Yeah, well, sponsored stories as such, they've now kind of disappeared. When you talk about promoted posts, I'm presuming you're talking about that boost post option on your page, which personally I never use anymore because I just found it wasn't bringing me the right targeted market, so I wouldn't bother with the boost post. I would go straight into your Power Editor, create all your adverts from within there, yeah, there's as you go in, you'll see all the different options. When you go down and start creating your ad, you'll see a button that tells you whether you're going for page post engagement or website clicks or conversions or whatever. You click each of those buttons and then have a look at the right hand side. And just by going through and clicking those buttons, you'll actually see what kind of posts are going to be shown, where they're going to be shown, how they're going to look, and all that kind of stuff. So the best thing to do with the Power Editor is just get in there and start playing. You don't have to upload anything. You don't have to actually get anything going. Just get in there and start playing with it. And then as you play around with it and see the posts, then you'll start to see which kind of posts are going to be shown on Facebook. But as far as organic posts are concerned, yes, you can create organic posts. The way you do it is you go up into Manage Pages. Okay, so you've got a drop down at the top where your accounts are. Click on Manage Pages, go into your actual page, your Facebook page, and click Create Post. And then you can actually create a post from within the Power Editor and click Publish right from within there, and that will create an organic post for you.
Awesome, awesome. So can everybody see why Jo is a traffic superhero? Anybody have any doubt that she's a superhero? This lady knows her stuff when it comes to Facebook, and she also knows her stuff when it comes to many, many other traffic strategies. And that's why we're actually putting Jo first up in the traffic superhero lineup. She's on day one, which is Monday, March 24th. She's going to be going on at 5 p.m. Pacific, day one of the Traffic Superhero Summit. She's going to give you the bird's eye view of lots of different traffic strategies. And Jo, can you give us a little tease about what you're going to be, training on the 24th of March, and why people should mark in their calendars right now, 5 p.m. Pacific, 24th of March. I got to be there because this woman knows her stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited actually, one of the reasons is because I really like to, when I do any training, I like to show real-time stats. So I like to say, this is a test I did and these are the results, and this is another test I did and these are the results, and so that people can actually see what I'm doing right now, I go through the campaigns that I'm running and exactly what I'm doing so they can see what's working. So we're going to be doing that on the presentation. I'm going to be showing you some stats from the next few weeks between now and March when we go live. I'm going to be showing you the different things that I'm doing to drive traffic, I was really stuck with this introductory session today because Marisa said to me, Jo, you need to come up with one cutting-edge strategy, and I've just got so many. There are just so many ways to drive traffic, and I've just got so many to share with you, and not just Facebook ads and paid strategies. I'm going to be sharing with you 30 free ways to drive traffic to all of your products and services and offers, 30 free key ways that you can get your content and word and brand out there and start generating those leads into your funnel. And as I said, I'm actually going to be showing you real-time proof of how it's happening, what I'm doing, and how you can do the same. So it's going to be a very exciting session. So make sure you're there.
All right, awesome, so much. So Monday, March 24th at 5 p.m. Pacific, Joe Barnes is going to be bringing you 30 free ways to get loads of traffic to your website, to your sales pages, to your squeeze pages, wherever you want to send that traffic. And how long has it taken you to discover these 30 ways? Like, how much time have you spent experimenting? How much money have you spent? How much resources have you invested to, develop these strategies that you're going to be giving to everybody for free?
Oh, thousands and years. I mean, I've literally been experimenting since I started back in March 2010, and we're now nearly in March 2014. So I've been playing around with this stuff for the last 4 years, and I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on testing and on courses and on, mentors that have all been doing it before me, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, lots and lots of time, lots and lots of money, but I love it.
Awesome. I can tell you love it. So, okay, if you want 30 free traffic generation strategies that have taken thousands of hours to develop in just an hour, then you're going to want to tune in. I see people saying, what's that date again? It's on my calendar now. I can't wait for your session. People are really, really excited about it. Great information, excited to try. That's the feedback we're getting. So Joe Barnes is going to be live sharing 30 free traffic generation strategies that it's taken her thousands of hours to discover and fine-tune, and showing you not just the strategies, but the tests and the experiments behind the strategies on Monday, March 24th at 5 p.m. Pacific. And we don't have the opt-in live yet on to sign up for this Traffic Superhero Summit yet, but just mark your calendar, stay on our mailing list, and you'll get notified as soon as it's available live. If you're not on our Traffic Superhero Summit list yet, one thing you can do right now to get on our Superhero Summits list is go to socialmediasuperherosummit.com/playbook. socialmediasuperherosummit.com/playbook, and I'm putting that into the chat right now. And if you go there, you're actually going to get the playbook from the Social Media Superhero Summit last November, which was 12 cutting-edge strategies for using social media to generate traffic, leads, and sales, and from 12 different superheroes. So if you go to socialmediasuperherosummit.com/playbook, that'll get you on the list for traffic, even though we don't have a squeeze page up for traffic yet. And when we do, you're going to want to sign up again, because then you're going to get the Traffic Superhero Summit playbook, which is going to be a lot of these strategies in writing with a couple screenshots to really kind of drive it home for you. So thank you so much, Joe. You're truly a superhero. I know you're a Supergirl, I think, Superwoman, right? And you're a bundle full of energy. So thank you so much for coming out. Joe, it's actually, yeah. And believe it or not, she has this amount of energy, and it's 3 a.m. in Thailand, and she's banned from summits. So thank you for coming out at 3 a.m. and bringing it with so much energy.
Thank you.
All right, so next up we've got Natalie. And Natalie, am I pronouncing your last name right? I'm sorry I didn't ask ahead of time.
Yeah, Lucier is perfect.
Lucier, okay, Natalie Lucier. And if she's got a French last name, then you know she knows what she's talking about, right? Because they know how to do it in France. All right. So basically, can you tell us your story and how you became a traffic superhero?
Absolutely. So I've been making websites since I was 12 years old. So I've pretty much been in love with the internet since before I was a teenager. And I started blogging over 10 years ago, and I really got into the whole online marketing thing in college. And I was actually working in a bunch of different startups in internships and stuff. So I worked on Wall Street, I worked in Silicon Valley, and I kind of honed all of my tech skills and got my degree in software engineering. And then when I graduated from college, I had this job offer on Wall Street that I actually turned down to start my first business right out of college, because I just fell in love with this online thing. And that was actually one of the first things I learned was SEO. So I knew how to make websites. That I didn't have a problem with, but it was getting people to come to my websites was the tricky part. So I really learned that while I was in college, and I started making money online. I was like, oh, there's something here. I'm sure I can make a business out of this. So I started a business, and today that business gets over 1 million, or actually that website gets over 1 million page views a year. And what ended up happening is that it was a healthy eating blog called Real Food Switch. And it was all about, eating more fruits and veggies and being healthy. And what ended up happening is that turned into the business that I have today, which turned into a multi-six-figure company all about online marketing. But that business actually still has over 1 million page views a year, and I don't even blog on it anymore. We actually just rebooted it, so it will probably increase even more now that people will be starting to blog. But yeah, so that actually is all pure SEO, and it's been amazing to kind of build that as a business, something that can kind of keep going over time.
Awesome. So it sounds like you've turned down Wall Street and you've built multiple businesses up to kind of millions of visitors every single year. And you did the SEO in such a good way that it's still working, even though you're not doing anything on these sites anymore. People are still coming, which is really, really awesome. And what's something that we might not know about you? Some hidden secret power that you've got, or some, something about your background that you can share?
Well, yes. So actually, the title of my presentation talks about martial arts a little bit. So I have a black belt in Taekwondo, and I do like to kick butt. So I do think that this whole kind of, superhero theme is perfect for me. And also, the superhero that I picked is Sailor Jupiter. And the first websites that I made back when I was 12 were all about Sailor Moon. So I think it's, very nice full circle kind of thing happening.
Oh, nice. I love it. So Natalie is officially a butt kicker when it comes to traffic. And this is great when you can finally fulfill your childhood fantasy of being the superhero that you always wanted to be.
Yes.
Sweet. Nice. All right. So what is your #1 cutting-edge traffic strategy that people probably don't know about yet because it's new or it's different or it's something that's obscure, it's taken you a lot of time to figure out?
Yeah, so I really want to talk about my #1 SEO traffic strategy, which you kind of touched upon, which is that SEO, for me at least, is really a long-term game. So a lot of times we're learning these cool tricks that can really get us up to that search engine level that we want, like that #1 rank, which is awesome, but then we get kicked off a couple days later. So there's actually 4 different types of keyword optimization that I see us kind of focusing on. So this is more of a distinction piece, and I'm going to talk more about how you can do it in a minute. But really, I think there's kind of 4 different types of keywords that you could be optimizing for. One is the brand-aware searches. So if people already know your name, they know your company, they know kind of who you are, then they're going to be looking for you, and that's cool. But that's also something that people need to know who you are for that to work. Then
One moment, Natalie. Is there any way you can zoom in? It's a little bit more. One more round of that. Yeah. There you go.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
And for anybody who wants to watch the Hangout full screen, you can click the little full screen button, I think in the upper lower right or upper right of your video, and that'll take it full screen so you can read these amazing slides, okay?
Thanks for that. Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So the #2 one is all about a specific problem and solution search. So that tends to be something like how to install a plugin or something that's super specific. Then we have a general topic, so weight loss or wedding photographer, like big overarching kind of themes. And then we have very location-specific searches like Brooklyn Pizza or hair salon in Nevada. So that's just kind of the quick overview. So in terms of brand-aware searches, it tends to be low competition unless there's other people who have the same name as you, in which case, well, you can kind of get around that by doing some good stuff that I'll teach you later. But then the other thing is that you kind of tend to need to use other social media or other types of brand awareness strategies for these to even come into play. So like speaking or doing joint ventures and that kind of thing. So the one that I really want to focus on that I think most of us could really benefit from when it comes to SEO is focusing more on specific problem solution searches, because the competition tends to be lower and it is fairly easy to kind of have better content on a specific problem and solution to really rank higher. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things here because this is the one that I want people to take action on. One is really focusing on long form, really in-depth content, so having at least 2,000 words of pure, great, actionable content on a problem or a solution kind of focus is really going to help you rank faster and also get more links to your content because it's a big resource that people want to share and send their people to. And the other thing also is that this is definitely one of my most kind of hidden secrets, if you will, is that some of my articles that are more in-depth and kind of how-to training solving a problem tend to have the most traffic. Even though I spend a lot of time creating other types of content, these are still my top ones. So it's good to kind of peel the curtain back on that. And then when it comes to general topic searches, I actually don't recommend going for something like weight loss or anything because it's so huge, and it also doesn't really tell you what that person might be searching for. So maybe they're searching for weight loss, but maybe they're actually a competitor. Maybe they're not actually looking for a specific solution. So an example here to give you a concrete, what does that mean? So instead of doing weight loss, how about, cleanse or detox or something that's even more specific than the overarching weight loss kind of concept. And then finally, location-specific searches. So if you do have a local business, I think this is one of the best things that you can do is to be on Yelp and Google Local. Those both give you such great benefits when it comes to showing up when people are searching in their location. There's some more tips that I want to give you guys to help you optimize. So one of them is, how to come up with these keywords, right? So the first way is always to brainstorm away from the computer. It's really easy to get sucked in and say, oh, well, my competitor is using this keyword, so I should use that keyword, or, oh, that seems to be working. But really putting yourself into the shoes of the people who are actually going to be your ideal customers and what they would be searching for. And another thing, too, is that these days people are searching more on their mobile phones, so they might be talking to their phone to look for something, so it might be more of a sentence as opposed to just a short keyword. So maybe before they'd be searching for restaurant near me, but now they might be searching for restaurant on blah, blah, blah that serves blah, 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 right? Like that's gluten-free or something like that. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind when you're optimizing is that people are getting smarter. They actually understand search engines more, so they know they can get more specific with their queries, and that's actually a great benefit to us as content creators because we can make even better titles for our posts and even better kind of queries to get them to find us too. And then the other trick that I love to use when it comes to researching keywords is just start typing into Google and then see what else comes up when you're typing, because it'll actually give you other recommendations for similar searches. And usually those longer keywords that come up are less competitive, so you can kind of start with those and dive into those instead of just going with that first one that you would have typed.
Nice, nice. And how do you actually do some of your keyword research? I mean, you don't have to go all in because I know you're going to give a lot of information in your presentation in a few weeks, but is there a specific tool that you use?
Yeah, so I actually use a couple of different things. So I always start off with just typing into Google. It's just so easy, it takes no time, and that means I'm actually going to do it, which is big for most of us. And then the other one that I use is inside AdWords. There is the Google Keyword Planner. It used to be called the Google Keyword Tool, but now it's called the Planner. And you can also do some cool searches in there. And I also have a couple of other tools that I use, like Market Samurai, which can kind of show you the competition and what they're doing on specific keywords, as well as give you other recommendations for keywords if you have a couple to start with.
Nice. So I used to use the Google Keyword Tool all the time, and then they switched it up, and I can't figure out how it works anymore. It's like really confusing all of a sudden, you know?
It is definitely way more confusing. It still works mostly the same. You kind of have to do like these little groups, keyword groups and stuff, which is not as ideal, but it still works. It's just, if it's easier for you, you can just go ahead and type into the Google and just see like what kind of comes up.
Nice, nice. Awesome. So any questions for Natalie related to SEO? And I know that I've heard that the kind of question, problem, solution style of posts and style of blog post titles even, like, you know, how do I do SEO on Panda, for example, or whatever it happens to be, are really big right now. And I've heard that Google even has changed their algorithms to prioritize that kind of post rather than just like a generic post, because so many people are using search engines to find answers to problems. And so now when you do that problem solution style post, it ranks higher because that's how people are naturally looking for information. Is that the case?
Absolutely, and I would also go even further and say that's absolutely true in YouTube and in video as well. So if you have a video that's more of a how-to video or something that kind of relates to a problem solution type of thing, if you can make sure to optimize your video with the title, the keywords, the description, and everything else related to that, then it will also rank higher. And you know, as you probably noticed when you search on Google, there's usually at least 1 or 2 video results. So it's a great thing if you don't have a post that's ranking, if you can make a video that's related to that problem solution kind of thing, it'll work really well too.
Cool, awesome. And what's an example of like a format of a blog post title or a video title that's got that problem solution in it? Because I know it's really just a few different templates that, like how to do this or how do I, you know, things like that. I mean, what's a couple examples that you've used of posts that have been really popular for you?
Absolutely. So the most popular one on my current website is actually how to add an opt-in to the bottom of your blog posts. It's kind of meta, but that is the one that, you know, most people find me through that. Like, it's huge when I look at my Google Analytics, like bigger than my front page. It's just like a big kind of entry into my website. But then other examples in other markets is in my Real Food Switch website. I actually had a review of like, you know, what's the difference between making a juice and making a smoothie. It's so simple, but people are so curious, right? They want to find out, like, should I juice or should I make smoothies? Like, should I do green juice or green smoothies? And so that's one of the popular posts on that website.
Nice. I think the two most popular posts on my blog, and together they generate about 3,000 visits to my blog every month. Is one was about the eight top market research questions and 6 key competitive analysis questions to create your blockbuster info product. And it's a long title, but I find that whenever I'm blogging and stuff, I use long titles and I don't try to get too creative. I actually use these kind of nuts and bolts, meat and potato style titles. And the other one is how to create a Twitter background, like a custom Twitter background or something like that. And those two bring me massive amounts of traffic. Yeah.
Totally, yeah, and it's like a lot of times we get caught up and we're like, we want to have something clever, we want to have something cute, but the more straightforward and obvious you can be, the easier people will find you, especially on search engines, because they're not looking for like the Angelina Jolie guide to blogging. You know, they're looking for how do I make a blog post or something simple, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I guess the challenge is in kind of getting your knowledge and expertise down to these very specific questions that people ask, and they're more specific than you could ever imagine, you know? Like when you're wrestling with something, it's not like, how do I post on Twitter? It's something like, you know, how do I incorporate a Twitter live tweet stream into my blog, right?
Totally,
awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. And so I see a question coming in, and it's from Jo. She's really fascinated by what you got to say. I love it when we've got the superheroes learning from each other, too, and a lot of them love to be on this event because they want to come to it themselves. So she wants to know, should we be using an SEO plugin on our blog? Do they work? Which one?
That's a great question. Yeah, so I really recommend a plugin called WordPress SEO by Yoast, Y-O-A-S-T. And it's a free plugin, but he does have an upgrade. So if you do a lot of video blogging, I actually have the video SEO plugin that kind of integrates with that free plugin. But yeah, it absolutely does work. What it does is it allows you to kind of connect your different blog posts with Google Webmaster Tools. And I'm going to talk a bit more about that in my presentation. But really, you're kind of playing nice with Google by telling them every time you have new content on your blog. So it's a great way to have that kind of set up, and that plugin actually does a lot of the heavy lifting for you, and it also tells you with a really cool little button, if it's red, it means you didn't optimize the post very well. If it's yellow, it means you're kind of halfway there, and if it's green, it's good to go.
Awesome. That makes it super easy. So basically it says, you know, you got the wrong optimization, loser. Try again. Or you got it right. All right, we're good to go. You're going to get lots of people coming to your site because of this blog post. And this is so critical what you're talking about, because I know people spend hours and blog posts that nobody sees. So I know how frustrating that can be. So what you're talking about is a few simple tips to get the most out of the content that you're already creating, so you can drive the kind of traffic that you've been able to see on your blogs, and even blogs that you're no longer really using because you created that content once and they continue to be there on Google as quality content that Google recommends over and over again on those searches. So that's really incredible. Can you tell people what you're going to be talking about at Traffic Superhero Summit and why they should mark this in the calendar right now, and how awesome it's going to be if you want to learn more about SEO and really showing up on the search engines, not just for your main branded name and URL, but for all kinds of questions and problems that people have when they're right at the moment when they're looking for you. And I know that your presentation is on Thursday, April 3rd at 12 p.m. Pacific. That's Thursday, April 3rd at 12 p.m. Pacific. So share a little bit about what you're going to be talking about.
Yeah, so one of the things that I love the most about kind of having these different posts and having people come back to your website is people always tell me, oh my God, I'm so glad I just found you, and like, I love you, I love everything you're doing. Thank you for having created that one page that I found you through. So really what I'm going to be talking about in my presentation is called The Zen of Search Engine Optimization, and why penguin, panda, hummingbird are really the least of your worries, and how to beat the odds. So like I said, my strategy is all about long-term SEO, and I kind of like to think about it as, you know, SEO with heart. And you know, I will teach you some cool cutting edge stuff for sure, because I'm always testing new things, I'm always trying things out, and you're going to get all the benefits from that testing. But I really want to talk to you about how to apply the martial arts thinking to your search engine optimization, so you can go with the punches, because Google's always changing and always be 2 steps ahead of the competition. I'm also going to talk about the most important developments in recent SEO history and the shocking tricks that can really get visitors knocking on your digital doors at a breakneck pace. And then I'm also going to talk about social media and how that plays into search engine optimization as well, because different social media platforms can raise your website's rankings, and it can really help you set things up for the long term so that you don't have to do a whole lot of extra work to get your blog posts and your videos and everything that you're creating in the search engines higher and higher.
Awesome, awesome. That sounds super, super valuable. I know I'm going to be tuning in, not just because I'm hosting, but because SEO is this kind of complex thing that everybody likes to make it more complicated than it needs to be. But what I know about you, and one of the reasons we chose you to be on the summit, is you like to do the zen of search engine optimization, not the 1,000-page Encyclopedia Britannica, ninja tool model, but this is just how do you translate what you're already doing and find the words and find the phrases that are going to bring new people to you. So I see some people are asking when this is going to be again. It's going to be on Thursday, April 3rd at 12 p.m. Pacific. Thursday, April 3rd at 12 p.m. Pacific. We bring you one cutting-edge traffic superhero a day. Sometimes it's 12 p.m., sometimes it's 5 p.m. Pacific, but one a day. So you're going to want to block out the time between March 24th and April 4th because we're going to do one a day. And it's at, again, 12 p.m. Pacific. So I see people want to make sure that they're going to be there. So thank you so much. And Superhero Murray, Neo Master of the Code, has in the background been created a traffic opt-in now. So you now have an opportunity to opt right in for Traffic Superhero Summit. Just go to trafficsuperherosummit.com. And if you opt in now, we'll still make sure that as soon as the playbook gets published that you're going to get a copy of it. So don't worry, because I know you're going to want to see the written versions of all these tools and tactics that we're sharing with you here on the line. So thank you so much. A lot of people are excited to come out and learn how to kick butt with social media, learn how to apply the martial arts of social media, the zen of social media, and all of those strategies. But do it with heart, because the best martial artists have heart as well as, brawn, right?
Absolutely. I'm so excited, looking forward to it.
Awesome. And remember that Natalie is a Taekwondo master, so she's going to give Bruce Lee over here a run for his money. He might be able to use nunchucks, but she's got legs of steel and, All right. Thank you so much, Natalie. Really, really appreciate it. So next up, we've got the amazing Ryan Levesque. And Ryan is just the most hilarious guy that you'll ever meet who can do a really wicked good impression, and I might ask him to do an impression for us. He does a really good "Why Does the Fox Sing?" impression. So what does the fox say? What does the fox say? That shows you how much I'm up on pop culture. I'm a lot more up on traffic than I am on pop culture, but hey, we're all geeks here on the summit, and we all got a revenge because we were doing this in high school, as you can tell. We were geeking out, and now it's popular. And now we can make money and make a living and help a lot of people. So anyway, tell us a little bit about yourself, Ryan, and how you became a traffic superhero.
Hey, this is Ryan Levesque here, and the reason why I'm shooting this video is because we just got off a great Superhero Summit call, and unfortunately, my internet was not cooperating, and my audio was going in and out. So I figured I'd shoot this video again real quick just to cover some of the main points that we talked about, so everybody on the call would have the opportunity to hear what we were talking about. So first, let me give you a little bit of background about myself so you can get to know who I am, what I've done, and the reason why I think it's important that you pay attention to what we're going to be talking about during my main talk. So the way I got started in the internet was back in 2008. In fact, I've been online full-time for 7 years, since 2008. Prior to that, going way back, I graduated from college where I studied and taught neuroscience. And at the Ivy League level at Brown University. And I thought I was going to go to medical school, but I realized that I hated that idea completely. And so after college, I decided that I wanted to do something completely different, so naturally I worked on Wall Street for the investment bank Goldman Sachs. And that was something that I didn't like, so I decided naturally the next logical thing to do would be to move to China for 5 years and work for a blue chip company, opening up sales offices around the country. And I did that for 5 years, liked it for a while, but eventually became really tiring. Living out of hotels, traveling on planes, tethered to the BlackBerry, constantly exhausted, and all the while I heard a few of my friends who were quietly making money, quote unquote, on the internet. So I wanted to learn what that was all about. So in my evenings, I was moonlighting as a part-time internet marketer while I had this full-time job. Eventually had the confidence to quit my job, moved into a 350 square foot apartment with my wife in Hong Kong, who at the time was getting her PhD at Hong Kong University. And we lived on her, I think it was $500 a month a stipend as a PhD candidate, and I took $500 and used it to build what has become multiple six-figure businesses and to do what I do now. That's the story of how I got started. One of the first businesses that I started was a business called Rocket Memory. Rocket Memory involves a series of courses that are designed to improve people's memories. And the reason why I started that business is because it leveraged my background in neuroscience, and it enabled me to teach system of memory techniques that I taught at the college level. Now, in building this business, what I discovered was that I was having a hard time converting traffic. And the reason why is because the bulk of the traffic in that space is centered around very general keywords that don't give you a good indication about what the person searching for on those keywords is really looking for. So some of the keywords were things like improve memory, how to improve memory. What I found was that on these keywords, you had a wide range of people who were searching on that, who represented that traffic. You had everybody from college kids who were looking to improve their ability to study, so looking for study skills, to baby boomers and seniors who were concerned about senility, Alzheimer's, and memory loss. And you had everything in between there. And the problem was I couldn't make that traffic convert because there was no way to build a landing page or a sales page that appealed to everybody in that spectrum of people. So out of necessity, I started looking at ways that I could segment that traffic. And what I arrived at was a technique that involves surveys. And so that's really the key technique that's been responsible for a huge chunk of my success. Now, let me give you an idea of what I do now so you can understand sort of how I took that survey technique in a small six-figure business and have translated that to do what I do today. So after mastering that technique, or initially learning that technique in the memory business, I began looking for ways to apply it in other markets. And eventually people started seeking me out because word got out that this survey funnel technique was working really well. So just to give you an idea of some of the things that I've done since then is using this survey funnel technique, I now run all the cold traffic for the largest golf destination on the internet, a company by the name of Revolution Golf. You can look them up. I run all the cold traffic for the largest tennis destination on the internet, a site called Fuzzy Yellow Balls. I run all the cold traffic now for the number one alkaline health company on the planet, the number 3 business funding provider online, the number 1 school supply company in the world is something that I'm working on right now. And now companies like Agora Publishing, which is a direct response company that publishes financial newsletters, and Boardroom Inc., which publishes the Bottom Line publication series of books and newsletters, are seeking me out to do this for them. Along the way, I also built and sold a software company which developed a tool that enabled you to do this, namely use surveys to build your funnels. Now, all said and done, just to give you some numbers to give you a sense for how much traffic has run through this one funnel that I've developed, which is applied and being used in multiple different markets, I've alone generated 2.8 million leads and 175,000 customers across 11 markets using the technique I'm about to show you. Now, that leads to the topic of what I'm going to be covering in the main superhero talk, and that's this. How to stop relying on internal launches and JV traffic by using 3 survey techniques that crush it on cold traffic. The 3 techniques that I'm going to be teaching are number 1, the bucket survey, number 2, the do you hate me survey, and the third one is something I'm only going to be revealing in the main talk. And the secret is combining these 3 surveys sequentially, which enable you to make virtually any type of traffic convert. It allows you to convert those short tail, high volume keyword phrases that I was talking about, like improve memory. So you don't have to rely on these long tail keywords like how study skills to improve memory for the MCAT exam, which represent a tiny fraction of the traffic. So all of a sudden, you no longer have to rely on internal traffic, on JV traffic, and having to do reciprocal mailings. So that whole quid pro quo thing that goes on, and being able to go to cold PPC traffic, cold SEO traffic, and media buys. Now, on the main Superhero Summit talk, I'm actually going to be walking you and handing you on the silver platter the 7 steps survey funnel process that I've used in market after market. So you can literally copy my #1 performing funnel that's crushing it in markets as diverse as golf, finance, and health, and apply it and steal that funnel and use it in your own business. I'm also going to be revealing the reason why I chose to be Bruce Lee as my traffic superhero, because there's a quote that's attributed to Bruce Lee, and it's something that you can apply in your business. That's my whole mantra of what it takes to be successful online. And it goes back to the reason why I only use this one funnel across market after market after market. Rather than try to be an amateur at 100 different things, I've decided to be an expert at this one thing. And that's something I'm going to show you why it's so powerful in the talk that I give. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them, and I look forward to having the opportunity to teach this to you on the main Superhero Summit talk. I hope you can join me, and I look forward to talking to you soon. And I apologize, by the way, for the fact that my voice is cracking like this. I just finished up a very high-end mastermind in which I was speaking all weekend straight, and unfortunately my voice decided to give out on the second day, and now you're left with what sounds like a teenage boy going through puberty. So anyways, I look forward to seeing you soon, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Awesome, awesome. And what you're talking about, we actually just invested, I think, $7,500 to spend the weekend with Ryan and 3 of his other mastermind buddies to get some of these strategies for us in our business. So you're going to get something that we paid $7,500 for free and find a way to apply it to your business. And it's really, really good stuff. Ryan really is an expert in what he does. He really is a superhero who's engineered a lot of amazing platforms. So like I said, we've got 3 amazing superheroes here today. Joe's going to be on Monday, March 24th at 5 p.m. Pacific, talking about 30 free traffic generation strategies. Then you've got Natalie coming on Thursday, April 3rd at 12 p.m. Pacific, talking about how to do SEO with heart in a way that you're still getting Google results, in a year or 2 years from now. And Ryan's going to be on Monday, March 31st at 12 p.m. Pacific, talking about this funnel engineering strategy. So once you get all that traffic through the techniques that Joe and Natalie are going to be teaching, you can have Ryan's kind of ninja Bruce Lee kick moves to segment that traffic and convert it into subscribers in sales. And that's going to be super, super critical. Also wanted to let you know that exactly in a week from now, next Tuesday, which is the 25th of March, we're going to be hosting another one of these little pre-hangouts where you get to meet, greet, and interact with 3 of our other traffic superheroes. And we've got some really amazing heavy hitters. Maybe I'll give you a little spoiler. We will have Alex Mendozian, and we'll have 2 other amazing traffic strategists there to tell you, their cutting-edge traffic generation strategies, so you can hear it straight from the superhero's mouth. And again, these are just informal, events for you to get to know our superheroes and learn some new tricks of the trade. And we really, really look forward to continuing to roll it out for you over the next 2 weeks, the next 2 Tuesdays in a row at 12 p.m. Pacific. And again, make sure to mark your calendars for March 24th through April 4th. And if you've gone ahead and to trafficsuperherosummit.com, you can go ahead and register now. And when we have the playbook with all these strategies in it, we'll email it to you. We'll also try to get together a just quick kind of schedule so you can mark your calendar now, because I know some of them are at noon, some of them are at 5 p.m., so you can make sure you don't miss out on any of these strategies. So thank you so much for turning out. Really look forward to seeing you next week and also at the summit on March 24th through April 4th. And I wanted to thank especially our 3 traffic superheroes, Joe Barnes, Natalie Lucier, and Ryan Levesque. So you guys are amazing, you inspire me, and I really look forward to learning from you in a few weeks. So thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for your generosity in sharing and everything that you've got to teach and share with our audience too. I know you guys really are superheroes, and I talked to like dozens of people to find the 10 that we're bringing you, because I know that there are a lot of people who are a lot of talk, but what they say doesn't really work. These are people who actually do what they say they do, and it works, and they're getting results for themselves and their customers. So that's why we're bringing them here for you, and really appreciate you tuning out. Now go out there and live your message, and remember, go to trafficsuperherosummit.com to register. So you make sure you're in the loop for all of these events. Again, they're all free, streaming live. All right, bye everybody. Thank you.